Welcome to Badminton Unlimited, your weekly access to badminton and beyond. This week, we sit down with Vladimir Ivanov and Ivan Sozonov as Russia's top men's doubles duo tells us how their achievements on the international circuit have helped increase the popularity of badminton in their country. And we're in India to speak to one of the country's most respected badminton coaches, SM Arif. The Yonex All England Badminton Championships is one of the most prestigious titles in badminton. Clinching the coveted crown is something shuttlers seek to achieve at least once in their playing careers, and winning the English title comes with great honour and glory, and for some, they're hailed as national heroes back home.
Every doubles pair in the world wants to win this tournament. It just happened that the stars aligned for us last year and we won the All England. In the last few years, we've been competing at the top level and we have managed to beat all the top 10 players. So we were ready for this result and we performed very well in Birmingham, and the All England title was ours last year.
Vladimir Ivanov and Ivan Sozonov became the first players from Russia to top the winners' podium in Birmingham last year when they won the All England men's doubles title. And in a country where badminton is less popular than sports like ice hockey, basketball, football or tennis, their high-profile triumph has helped raise the awareness of the sport in Russia.
It was very important for Russian sport because this is the first title not only for us, but for the whole of Russia. And this win actually gave a huge push for the development of badminton. After 2 or 3 months, more children started to attend badminton schools and academies because we gained some popularity back in Russia.
Finding success at the Olympics would be the perfect advert for badminton in Russia. But with Ivan picking up an injury in the months leading up to the Rio 2016 Olympics, the Russian pair arrived in Brazil not at their peak. However, they exceeded expectations in reaching the knockout stages of the competition.
The Rio Olympics was special for me because I had a very bad injury in May, and the Olympics was only a few months later in August. I did not believe until the last moment that I was able to compete. Of course, we would have gone anyway, but to play like we did not think it could happen. Who would have thought that back when I was lying with a bandaged leg, that I would then be able to perform so well? We exceeded our own expectations. So back then, no one could believe or expected it.
Although the Russian pair came up short against China's Cai Biao and Hong Wei in the quarterfinals, they impressed in the group stage. Vladimir and Ivan sensationally beat top seeds and Olympic favourites Lee Yong-dae and Yu Yeon-sung to claim top placing in the group. Having also defeated the then world #1 Koreans en route to their All England victory earlier in the year, it further fueled their belief.
Wins like this give you brand new expectations. You are optimistic that the top spot is not so far because you can almost see it. You tell yourself to continue to train and maintain on the right course.
We beat the #1 ranked Koreans and made a point that we are ready to win a medal. We just didn't have enough to do it.
The fact that we made it to the playoffs, which was a better result than London 2012, makes us look forward to the future. And at the next Olympics, we want to go even further to achieve a medal.
It'll take an Olympic gold for the shuttle sport to be recognized on the same level as football or tennis in Russia, but Vladimir and Ivan believe their high performances on the international circuit have helped raise the profile of badminton in their country.
They showed live coverage of badminton on the Russian sports channel. All of this was seen by the public, and they probably even went to the internet to check what badminton is. And probably a certain percentage of these people said that they were interested in the sport. Maybe some started to play, others may have brought their children with them, and the development continued. Our success is playing a big part in the progress.
In recent times, the men's doubles discipline has grown increasingly competitive and demanding, making it tougher to stay ahead of the field.
If you look at the men's doubles scene now, there are a lot of strong players, and it has leveled the playing field. It's hard to identify the best pair, unlike in the past when the great Chinese and Korean pairs dominated the world rankings consistently. This doesn't really exist at the moment because it is no longer dominated by them anymore. Everyone can win a tournament, so it's becoming very competitive. There are many good players in every country. Men's doubles is always adding new and good players into the game.
But what drives the world number 12 in their pursuit of excellence is their fans and the passion of the badminton community. For Vladimir Ivanov and Ivan Sozonov, they are inspired by the support they've received, and it pushes them to seek greater heights.
Of course, there are moments when the disappointments get to you and you get sick of it all and you don't want to do anything. But all this goes away when we get into the arena and see all the badminton fans.
You can see their emotions and passion in their eyes. Even if the person never played badminton before, he still supports you wholeheartedly. It makes you want to play day in and day out. That's why you go to training as a result. We play and live for our fans, ourselves, and the nation.
Time for some trivia. This week, we want you to name the first Japanese men's doubles pair to win the Hong Kong Open. Have a think, and we'll reveal the answer after the break. When we return, we speak to India's longest-serving coach, who has been influential in guiding the country's top badminton stars. Before the break, we asked you to name the first Japanese men's doubles pair to win the Hong Kong Open. The answer is Takeshi Kimura and Keigo Sonoda. The 2016 Hong Kong Open was historic for the Japanese duo. They clinched their first ever World Superseries crown and became only the second Japanese men's doubles pair to clinch a Superseries title. The 2017 MetLife BWF World Superseries circuit stops in Singapore next, and the Japanese pair hope to go all the way after finishing runners-up last year. A victory for Kimura and Sonoda will surely ignite their pursuit for badminton glory. With several reputable academies located in Andhra Pradesh, the southern Indian state has become known as the badminton hub of India. In the last few decades, the state has produced the nation's top players and is continuously supplying promising Indian shuttlers on the badminton scene. SM Arif has had a hand in mentoring the country's premier stars over the last 4 decades, and Badminton Unlimited spent the afternoon with Arif Sir, as the veteran is popularly known in badminton circles, to find out more about the highly respected Indian coach.
I used to play in my college and school time. Then my physical director, he told me that as a captain, whenever you are guiding your players, you seem to having a lot of knowledge about the game or something, the way you guide them and all. So why don't you go for the coaching? And I said, I don't know, sir, what coaching is. Then he told me that a coach has got to teach the children about plan for their development and everything. I said, that's one of the best things. But I was interested in this job, and that's the reason I became a coach.
In 1974, at the age of 27, he became a coach employed by the Sports Authority of India, and for the next 3 decades, until he retired in 2004, Arif worked closely with the Indian team, including taking charge of the national side for 8 years, when he was appointed the chief national coach in 1997.
In 1998, for the first time, India won 4 medals in Commonwealth Games at Malaysia. So that's the first thing to start with. I've been coaching the Indian team for the juniors, seniors, for different World Championships, Grand Prix, Asian Games, Commonwealth Games, for everything. All England Championship was won by Gopi Chand, and then few other players also have given international performances also. Many of the international performances had come from 97 onwards. Before that, we had very few international performances.
A recipient of the prestigious Dronacharya Award, an honor given for outstanding coaching, SM Arif has groomed over 200 national champions and holds a unique record of producing more national champions than any Indian coach in any discipline. No badminton player in the state of Andhra Pradesh has come up without SM Arif's guidance at some point in their careers, and his keen eye for spotting talent includes big names like London Olympic bronze medalist Saina Nehwal, 2010 Commonwealth Games doubles gold medalist Jwala Gutta, Rio Olympic silver medalist Prasala V. Sindhu, and 2001 All England champion Pulela Gopachand.
I'll tell you about Gopi. When everybody wants to stand after the training, seems to be tired out, he used to come and used to say, sir, can I do more? I want to do a little more. I said, yes, okay. Seeing that thing, I have already predicted long back when he was junior that he can be a world beater. The same thing about Saina Nehwal. When she was a kid coming as an 8-year-old, when everybody used to finish, she just used to stand and look at my face. I used to ask her, what, baby, you want to do something more? You're not feeling that tired? No, so I can do a little more.
The badminton hall of Lal Bahadur Shastri Stadium is second home to SM Arif. Even after leaving Sports Authority of India in 2004, the coach could not stay away from the sport he loved so much, and within 2 years, he was back on the courts coaching budding shuttlers. A father figure to his students, he is revered in the badminton community. He was a consultant when Gopachand first established his academy, and recently, Jwala Gutta engaged the veteran to be a mentor coach at her newly launched Global Academy for Badminton.
I think his contribution cannot be compared to anybody right now. The kind of dedication he's shown to the sport. We are all here, including the ones who are shining in the limelight right now. We are all here because of Arif sir, and nobody can deny it.
At 74 years old, this badminton guru is still going strong. He continues to make the shuttle sport his life and seeks to transform every badminton enthusiast who comes to him into a potential medal winner.
Anybody wants to feel happy. My child is learning, doing something, I feel happy. If they are performing, it makes me happy. Almost every day. That's what is at this age, at 73 plus, I'm 74 now almost, then I'm continuing only because of this. It gives me the kick, it gives me the happiness. And I'm still working for one reason, and that is I want to produce a world champion.
The MetLife BWF World Superseries circuit featured its second Super Series premier event when the city of Kuching hosted the Celcom Axiata Malaysia Open. Mixed doubles began proceedings on finals day as Zheng Siwei and Cheng Qingchen took on compatriots Lu Kai and Huang Yaqiong. When these two sides met 2 weeks ago at the Yonex Sunrise India Open, Lu and Huang emerged victors. However, they were not able to outwit their tenacious opponents, who comfortably took the first game. The second was more of a tight battle for supremacy, with both sides producing some nifty plays. Lu and Huang fought honorably to maintain the gap, but their compatriots rapidly shut down their comeback midway through the game. After just 37 minutes, it was game over, Zheng and Chen claiming their maiden Malaysia Open crown as well as their first title of 2017. The final score, 21-15, 21-18. It was a clash of the titans in the women's singles final, as world number 1 Tai Tzu-Ying took to the court against Carolina Marin. In a closely fought opener in which the lead changed hands several times, it was the Spaniard who had that extra edge in the end to claim the first game. The second set was another heated encounter, with the Chinese Taipei shuttler refusing to concede defeat. With the scores tied at 20-all, it was Tai who came on top to force the game to a decider. Carolina's sturdy performance in the previous 2 games began to wither as the third game progressed. After an intense 1 hour and 25 minutes, the final score, 23-25, 22-20, 21-13. Over in the men's singles, 2 legends reignited old rivalries as Lin Dan took on home crowd favourite Lee Chong-wei. Lin Dan began proceedings cautiously and would pay for his hesitant approach as the world number 1 began securing points with his killer finishes. The Malaysian ace should have sealed the opener, but a resilient Lin Dan produced an inspiring comeback to take the first game. The tournament's most successful player, with 11 titles, faltered under the onslaught of his Chinese arch-rival. The final blow was dealt after 55 minutes, Lin Dan securing his maiden Malaysian Open crown, as well as his first World Superseries title of 2017. 21-19, 21-14, the final result. The women's doubles was up next. Yuki Fukushima and Sayaka Hirota took on Huang Ya-chong and Tang Jinghua. It was the first World Super Series final for the Japanese duo, and they did well to absorb the attacks from their more experienced opponents. However, Fukushima and Hirota shocked Stadium Perpaduan after claiming the opener. The Chinese were their usual self in the second, but still faced stiff resistance from their young foes. Fukushima and Hirota almost snatched the lead, but it was Huang and Tang who came out on top to force the game to a decider. The Japanese were not about to give up either, and took control of the third, showing their opponents no mercy and eventually grabbed their maiden World Super Series title, becoming only the second women's Japanese pair to win at the Malaysia Open. The final score, 21-17, 18-21, 21-12. China's Zheng Ziwei returned to action for the men's doubles to wrap up another exciting week of badminton. The Chinese pair were up against Indonesia's informed duo Marcus Fernaldi Gideon and Kevin Sanjaya Sukamuljo. The Indonesians are enjoying a successful World Super Series campaign in 2017 so far, after claiming titles in India and England. Gideon and Sukamuljo produced a flawless opening performance to take the first set comfortably. Fu and Zheng bounced back in the second game. The Chinese pair did well to thwart their opponents and closed out the game and forced the tie to a decider. However, they couldn't replicate that same form in the third. The Indonesians exploited that advantage and cruised past the Chinese in emphatic fashion. 41 minutes was all it took for Gideon and Sukamuljo to grab their third World Super Series title of 2017. 21-14, 14-21, 21-12, the final result. After the break, we chat with Indonesia's Fitriani as the country's top women's singles player shares her hopes in becoming a top shuttler. Get connected with us on social media. Follow us on Twitter and Facebook and tell us what you think of the latest news. Or perhaps you just want to leave an encouraging post for your favorite player on Facebook. If you've got any comments or photos, share them with us on these social media platforms. At the elite level, there's no doubt that the women's singles format has grown increasingly competitive in recent times. With badminton evolving into a truly global sport, dominance by a select few has become a thing of the past. For 18-year-old Indonesian starlet Fitriani, she relishes in the experience of facing the heavyweights as the challengers help refine her game.
Saya pernah lawan Saina Nehwal.
I've played against opponents like Saina Nehwal, Beyeonju, and Pusala V. Sindhu. It wasn't easy playing against such experienced players like them, but the good thing about all those encounters is that I'm able to learn a lot on how to handle myself when facing such top opposition. One thing's for sure though, there are a lot of areas in my game that I need to work on. To reach such high standards is the aim, but it's not going to be easy.
Kalau mau mengejar itu kan nggak gampang juga.
A club player in her formative years, the world number 27 shared with us how her patient determination in becoming part of the country's elite band of shuttlers finally paid off.
Saya 2013 itu saya sempat.
In 2013, I was undergoing trials with the national team while preparing for the World and Asian Junior Championships. After 3 to 4 months, I returned to my club. The same thing happened the next year. But thank God, I was finally selected into the national team in 2015.
Saya juga, ya alhamdulillah di 2015 saya bisa masuk pelatnas.
Proudly donning the national colours, Fitriani made her bow at the Vietnam International Challenge in March 2015. And a month later, she would enjoy her first victory, stepping on top of the podium at the Indonesian International Series. The right-hander's rapid progress continued that year, with the youngster finishing runner-up at the Grand Prix tournament in Ho Chi Minh City. As exciting as it would be for any wide-eyed player, Fitriani still had her feet firmly grounded.
Ya, alhamdulillah sih ya, senang banget bisa.
I always thank God that I'm here with the national team. I feel so proud to represent my country, and I understand that I need to do my best. It's a big responsibility when you're playing for the red and white. Even though my friends will be envious of me as I'm able to travel around, I always tell them I'm very grateful to God for this chance. I also tell them that traveling isn't for a vacation, but opportunities for me to find sporting success in my badminton career.
Buat cari prestasi, saya bilang gitu juga.
Last year, the shuttler grabbed top honours at the Indonesia International Challenge, and she also made her debut at the prestigious Uber Cup finals in China. While these accolades have been a positive growth in her senior career, Fitriani is under no illusion that Indonesia's women's singles players have still some way to go before reaching the upper echelons of the discipline. With 2015 BWF World Championships bronze medalist Lindaweni Fanetri retired from the sport, Fitriani and her teammates are more determined to prove their worth.
Ngasih masukannya sih ya Kak Linda pastinya jangan
Linda advised us to not let our time here go to waste. She told us to never get too comfortable with where you are or what you have achieved. We should always strive to work harder all the time. Whatever the situation we may face, we need to rise above it. All the players in the women's singles team are close to each other, and we are a very tight group. We have no problems, and we are always helping one another during training.
Gitu juga suka ya saling membantu juga.
The recent appointment of Susi Susanti as the country's new badminton chief will surely spur them on even further. The sport's first ever Olympic women's singles champion is confident that Fitriani has enough in her locker to push on.
Fitri is a very good player, but maybe she's losing out on the physical size. So I told her that she needs to be prepared to do extra to make up for it. She's very hardworking and her attitude is fantastic. We hope she'll maximize her potential as how Nozomi Okuhara has done. She's a good example for Fitri to realize she shouldn't feel inferior because of her petite size. As long as she believes in herself, I'm confident she can be successful.
It's a glowing endorsement from her idol, but Fitriani understands that ultimately only she can realize her potential.
Kedepannya ya Fitri pengen main lebih.
Looking ahead, I want my performances to be more consistent and be able to show my potential to the fullest. Hopefully, when I'm able to perform well consistently in tournaments, I'll be able to enjoy good results. From these performances, I hope my world ranking will improve as well.
Lebih baik lagi.
Fitriani represents the future of Indonesia in women's singles, and it's the hope that she'll blossom into a world beater in the coming years. Before we go, let's take a look at the Badminton Unlimited calendar. Next week, we catch up with Carolina Marin of Spain as the Olympic champion shares her plans for 2017 with us. See you next week.